From burger joints in Michigan to iconic breakfast spots in Massachusetts, fast food favorites hold a special place in every state. Join us on a journey across America as we uncover cult classics and local legends that serve up more than a quick bite. They capture the essence of regional pride and nostalgia. Tommy's Burger Stop. Up in Anchorage, Alaska, there's a hidden gem that locals can't stop talking about: Tommy's Burger Stop. This cozy, no-frills diner is famous for serving up oversized burgers with a spicy Cajun twist. The patties are thick, juicy, and seasoned to perfection, creating a flavor punch in every bite. But it's not just about the burgers. Their po' boys are packed with Gulf Coast flair, bringing a little southern heat to the Alaskan chill. Whether you're a visitor or a lifelong Alaskan, Tommy's offers a bold, comforting bite that tastes like a backyard cookout with Louisiana soul. Slim Chickens. In Northwest Arkansas, Slim Chickens has become the go-to spot for fresh, flavorful comfort food. What keeps folks coming back? They're all-natural chicken tenders, juicy, crispy, and cooked to perfection every time. But the real fun starts when it's time to dip. Slim Chickens offers an impressive lineup of 17 unique sauces, from tangy honey mustard to fiery cayenne ranch. Whether you like it sweet, spicy, or somewhere in between, there's a sauce with your name on it. It's fast food with a southern twist, made with care, served with flair, and perfect for dipping every bite. Milo's Original Burger. If you're ever in Alabama, there's one place locals will insist you try: Milo's Hamburgers. This beloved hometown chain has been serving up its legendary burgers since 1946. The star of the show? The original Milo's Burger. It's made with a fresh grilled beef patty that's juicy and full of flavor. But what really sets it apart is the signature secret sauce. Tangy, bold, and unlike anything else. Add in a generous helping of onions and crisp pickles, and you've got a burger that's uniquely Alabama. You won't find Milo's anywhere else, and that's what makes it so special. Filiberto's. In Arizona, when cravings hit hard, locals turn to Filiberto's. This Mexican fast food staple is known for its massive portions and bold flavors that satisfy every time. But the true fan favorite? The Arizona Burrito. It's a hearty, flavorful creation, packed with tender carne asada, fresh pico de gallo, seasoned potatoes, and melty cheese, all wrapped in a warm tortilla. It's the kind of meal that hits all the right notes: savory, spicy, and filling. Chipotle. It all started in Denver, Colorado back in 1993, a little burrito shop called Chipotle. Fast forward to today, and it's a nationwide favorite with over 2,600 locations. But even with its growth, Chipotle keeps things simple and fresh. Their burritos and bowls are hands down the top picks, loaded with your choice of meats, rice, beans, and those crave-worthy toppings like guac and chipotle honey vinaigrette. There's even a secret menu for the adventurous, with items like the quesarito, a burrito wrapped in a cheesy quesadilla. In-N-Out. In California, In-N-Out isn't just a fast food joint. It's a full-on obsession. From surfers to celebrities, everyone has a favorite order. What sets In-N-Out apart? It's the not-so-secret menu, especially the legendary animal-style options. Think burgers grilled with mustard, loaded with grilled onions, pickles, and extra special sauce. And if you're cutting carbs, go protein style, with a crisp lettuce wrap instead of a bun. Every burger is made fresh to order with high-quality ingredients and zero freezers in sight. Duchess. In Connecticut, locals know that when it comes to breakfast any time of day, Duchess is the place to go. This beloved homegrown chain has just 14 locations, but it holds a big spot in the hearts and stomachs. Nutmeg Staters. Duchess is best known for its all-day breakfast menu, especially those warm, satisfying breakfast sandwiches. Whether it's eggs, bacon, sausage, or melty cheese on a fresh roll or English muffin, they've got it just the way you like it. It's fast food done with care, made fresh to order, and served with that classic New England charm. Capriotti's. In Delaware, Capriotti's is more than a sandwich shop. It's a hometown treasure. While they're known for their savory cheese steaks and freshly roasted turkey subs, it's the Bobby that steals the show. This fan-favorite sandwich tastes like Thanksgiving dinner in every bite. It's stacked with tender turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing, and just the right touch of mayo, all piled onto a fresh sub-roll. Comforting, hearty, and a little nostalgic, the Bobby is the kind of sandwich that keeps people coming back year-round, not just for the flavor, but for that warm, familiar feeling with every bite. Chick-fil-A. Born in Atlanta back in 1967, Chick-fil-A has grown into one of America's most beloved fast food chains, but it still holds a special place in Georgia's heart. While the chicken sandwich gets a lot of the spotlight, the real fan obsession? Those iconic waffle fries. Golden, crispy, and perfectly salted, they're cut thick enough to soak up sauces and soft enough inside to melt in your mouth. Pollo Tropical. In sunny Florida, Pollo Tropical brings the bold, vibrant taste of the Caribbean straight to your plate. This fast casual favorite is known for its juicy, flame-grilled chicken that's been marinated for hours in a zesty blend of tropical spices. Every bite is packed with flavor, smoky, citrusy, and just the right amount of heat. Whether you go for a classic quarter chicken, a Tropachop bowl, or load up on sides like plantains and rice with beans, you're in for a flavorful island escape. What's your all-time favorite fast food spot in your state? Drop your pick in the comments. Portillo's. In Illinois, especially around Chicago, Portillo's is a fast food legend. Sure, folks flock there for the classic Chicago-style hot dogs piled high with mustard, relish, onions, tomatoes, pickles, and sport peppers. All on a poppy seed bun. But there's one sweet surprise that truly steals the show. The cake shake. This over-the-top dessert blends a thick milkshake with an entire slice of rich, moist chocolate cake. Yes, an actual slice of cake goes into the blender. The result? A creamy, indulgent shake with bits of frosting and cake in every sip. It's messy, magical, and totally worth the calories. Boise Fry Company. In Idaho, the land of potatoes, it's no surprise that the fries take center stage. At Boise Fry Company, fries aren't just a side dish, they're the main event. This creative eatery flips the usual formula, serving up a variety of fries with your burger on the side. Customers can choose from 6 different potato types, including russet, purple, and even yam, sliced into 5 unique cuts like curly, shoestring, or po' ball. Top it all off with 9 inventive sauces, including their famous blueberry ketchup, and you've got a fry lover's paradise that turns a simple snack into an art form. Zippy's. In Hawaii, Zippy's is more than a restaurant, it's a local institution. Since opening its doors in 1966, Zippy's has served up a comforting blend of classic diner fare and beloved Hawaiian favorites. One of the most iconic dishes on the menu? The chili moco. It's a flavorful twist on the traditional loco moco. A hearty plate of rice topped with a hamburger patty, a fried egg, and Zippy's signature chili poured over the top. Rich, savory, and totally satisfying. It's a taste of the islands in every bite. For locals, Zippy's feels like home. For visitors, it's a must-try. Steak and Shake. In Indiana, Steak and Shake is more than just a place to grab a bite. It's a trip back in time. With its retro diner charm and made-to-order meals, it's long been a local favorite. While the hand-spun milkshakes are legendary on their own, the real standout is the Frisco Melt. This mouth-watering sandwich combines 2 steak burger patties with Swiss and American cheese, all pressed between buttery sourdough bread and topped with a tangy Frisco sauce. It's grilled to golden perfection, offering that crispy crunch with a rich, cheesy melt. Maid-Rite. In Iowa, no fast food favorite is more iconic than Maid-Rite. Since opening in 1926, this Midwestern gem has built its reputation on a humble but unforgettable creation, the loose meat sandwich. Imagine a sloppy Joe without the sauce. Just perfectly seasoned ground beef, cooked until tender, and served loose on a soft bun. It's simple, yes, but packed with savory flavor, thanks to a top-secret blend of spices that locals swear by. No ketchup needed. Add mustard, pickles, or onions, and you've got a messy, mouth-watering classic that's as Iowa as cornfields and Friday night football. Freddy's Frozen Custard. In Kansas, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is a fast food favorite that blends flavor with a touch of nostalgia. Founded in Wichita, Freddy's serves up thin, crispy-edged steak burgers that are seared to perfection, juicy on the inside and full of beefy goodness. But what really completes the experience is their rich, creamy frozen custard, churned fresh daily and available in sundaes, concretes, or shakes. Step inside, and you're greeted by retro diner vibes and friendly smiles that make you feel right at home. It's a delicious slice of Americana, served with a scoop of sweetness and a side of small-town charm. Raising Cane's. While Louisiana is famously home to Popeyes, another local legend has taken the spotlight: Raising Cane's. Founded in Baton Rouge, this fast-growing chain has won hearts with one simple focus: chicken fingers. No burgers, no wraps, no distractions. Just perfectly crispy, golden chicken tenders made fresh to order. The menu is refreshingly minimalist, but everything on it is high quality. Add their buttery Texas toast, crinkle-cut fries, and that addictive cane sauce, and you've got a meal that hits the spot every time. The Highroller Lobster Company. In Maine, seafood is king, and the Highroller Lobster Company is one of the crown jewels. Located in Portland, this vibrant eatery has taken the classic lobster roll and given it a fun, flavorful twist. Sure, they serve up the buttery rolls and even lobster-topped burgers, but the showstopper here is the lobster cheese crisp taco. It's exactly what it sounds like. Fresh Maine lobster tucked into a crispy shell made entirely of melted, golden cheese. It's rich, indulgent, and totally unforgettable. Boardwalk Fries. In Maryland, nothing says summer quite like a paper cup full of hot, crispy fries from Boardwalk Fries. Inspired by the classic beachside boardwalks, this local favorite specializes in one thing and does it incredibly well: golden, twice-cooked French fries. Each batch is fried fresh, first to cook the inside, then again to achieve that perfect crispy exterior. Lightly salted and piping hot, they're simple, satisfying, and totally crave-worthy. Whether you're grabbing a snack by the shore or just reminiscing about ocean breezes, Boardwalk Fries delivers a taste of Maryland's coastline in every bite. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC as the world knows it, started right in the heart of Kentucky. What began as a small roadside restaurant in Corbin quickly became a global icon, all thanks to Colonel Harlan Sanders and his legendary original recipe. Made with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, the chicken is hand-breaded and pressure-fried until golden, crispy, and bursting with flavor. Today, KFC is the second-largest fast food chain in the world, but it still holds a special place in Kentucky's history. Thank you for watching. To continue with more content, comment 1 to let us know you're still following. Dunkin. In Massachusetts, Dunkin isn't just a coffee shop. It's a way of life. Born in Quincy back in 1950, Dunkin quickly became the go-to spot for locals needing a quick caffeine fix or a bite on the run. Whether it's a steaming cup of their famous coffee, a classic glazed donut, or a bacon, egg, and cheese on a toasted bagel, it's fast, affordable, and dependable. You'll find a Dunkin on nearly every corner in the Bay State, and for good reason. It's part of the morning routine. Around here, You don't ask if someone wants coffee. You ask, "Want Dunkin'?" Leo's Coney Island. In Michigan, Leo's Coney Island is more than just a diner. It's a community staple. With locations all over the state, Leo's has earned its reputation for generous portions, quick service, and a menu that brings together classic American breakfasts and flavorful Greek favorites. While the all-day breakfast is a hit, the real stars are the gyros, packed with tender seasoned meat, crisp veggies, and creamy tzatziki, all wrapped in warm pita bread. Pair it with a fresh Greek salad, and you've got a meal that feels both comforting and vibrant. At Leo's, there's always something for everyone. Morning, noon, or night. Dairy Queen's Blizzard Treat. Minnesota proudly calls Dairy Queen its own, with the iconic chain headquartered right in Minneapolis. While DQ offers burgers, fries, and chicken baskets, the real showstopper, and what keeps folks coming back, is the Blizzard. This thick, creamy, soft-serve treat is blended with your choice of candies, cookies, or syrups, and flipped upside down before it's handed to you, just to prove how thick it really is. With over 20 flavors, from Oreo and Reese's to seasonal favorites like pumpkin pie, there's something for every sweet tooth. Zaxby's. In Mississippi and across the South, Zaxby's has become a household name for one irresistible reason: the chicken finger plate. This southern staple features crispy, golden chicken fingers served hot and juicy, alongside crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, coleslaw, and their famous Zax sauce. That sauce alone, a tangy, creamy blend with a little kick, has its own fan base. Whether you're grabbing a quick lunch or feeding the whole family, Zaxby's delivers comfort food with bold flavor and southern hospitality. It's fast food, yes, but with that homemade feel that makes it a Mississippi favorite. Lion's Choice. In Missouri, especially around St. Louis, Lion's Choice is a local treasure that's all about doing roast beef right. This fast food chain doesn't cut corners. Their signature roast beef sandwiches are made from real top-round beef, slow roasted and sliced thin, then served medium rare for maximum tenderness and flavor. Each sandwich is piled high on a warm bun, letting the beef shine without drowning it in sauce. It's simple, savory, and refreshingly honest. Add in their famous seasoned fries and creamy frozen custard, and you've got a meal that's been winning over St. Louis hearts for generations. The Pickle Barrel. In Montana, when hunger strikes, locals head to the Pickle Barrel, a legendary sandwich shop that's all about size and flavor. This no-frills spot is famous for its massive subs, especially the mouth-watering cheesesteaks. Made with fresh, quality ingredients and grilled to perfection, these subs are piled high with juicy steak, melted cheese, and whatever toppings you choose. It's a hearty, satisfying meal that'll keep you full for hours. Whether you're in Bozeman or Billings, grabbing a Pickle Barrel sub is practically a rite of passage. Big portions, bold flavor. That's how Montana does sandwiches. Runza. In Nebraska, one fast food favorite truly stands apart: Runza. This homegrown chain serves a unique local delicacy that shares its name, the Runza. It's a warm, baked bread pocket stuffed with a savory mix of ground beef, cabbage, and onions. The recipe traces back to German-Russian immigrants who settled in the Midwest, bringing their hearty comfort food with them. It's not just delicious, it's part of Nebraska's cultural heritage. With its soft golden crust and rich, flavorful filling, the Runza is a perfect blend of old-world tradition and Midwestern pride, all wrapped up in one satisfying bite. Port of Subs. In Nevada, when locals want a sub that's fresh and made just the way they like it, they head to Port of Subs. This regional favorite sets itself apart by slicing all meats and cheeses to order, right in front of you. It's a simple touch that makes a big difference in taste and texture. Whether you're craving a quick 5-inch snack or a massive 2-foot party sub, Port of Subs has you covered. With plenty of topping options and fresh baked bread, every sandwich feels personal and satisfying. It's like Subway, but with a serious upgrade in freshness and flavor. Mr. Max. In New Hampshire, Mr. Max is a mac and cheese lover's dream come true. This quirky spot takes everyone's favorite comfort food and turns it into a flavorful adventure. With 21 unique varieties on the menu, there's a mac and cheese for every craving. Want something spicy? Try the Taco Mac with seasoned beef, jalapenos, and a zesty taco sauce. If you're in the mood for something familiar yet fun, the Pizza Mac with pepperoni, marinara, and mozzarella will hit the spot. From classic to wild, Mr. Max delivers rich, creamy mac and cheese in ways you've never imagined. It's cheesy, it's hearty, and it's unforgettable. Jersey Mike's. In New Jersey, Jersey Mike's is the go-to spot for a fresh, satisfying hoagie. Known for their quick service and high-quality ingredients, Jersey Mike's crafts sandwiches that never disappoint. One of the crowd favorites? The turkey and provolone hoagie. It's packed with tender turkey, creamy provolone, and served on freshly baked bread, all perfectly balanced for that classic deli taste. Whether you go with the regular or a larger size, each bite is a perfect blend of flavors, making it a go-to meal for anyone craving a quick, delicious sandwich. Fast, fresh, and always tasty. That's the Jersey Mike's way. What's a fast food chain that's a must-try in your hometown but isn't on the list? Tell us about it. Blake's Lotaburger. In New Mexico, Blake's Lotaburger has earned a reputation for delivering one of the most iconic chili burgers around. Founded in Albuquerque, this local favorite is known for its signature Lotaburger, which takes a traditional chili burger to a whole new level. What makes it special? The burger is topped with spicy, flavorful green chili and melted cheese, creating a perfect blend of heat and savory goodness. Each bite is a true taste of New Mexico, with the bold flavors of green chili adding that signature southwestern kick. Shake Shack. New York's Shake Shack began as a humble hot dog cart in Madison Square Park, but now it's a worldwide sensation. Known for its juicy, perfectly seasoned burgers, Shake Shack quickly became a must-visit for food lovers. But it's not just the burgers that draw the crowds. Their crinkle fries are crispy and perfectly salted, making the perfect side. And let's not forget the frozen custard. Creamy, rich, and available in a variety of flavors. It's the ultimate sweet treat to top off your meal. Shake Shack may have started small, but it's grown into an iconic fast food destination with flavors that leave an impression. Bojangles. In North Carolina, Bojangles is the place to go for authentic Southern comfort food. Famous for its perfectly fried chicken, Bojangles serves up crispy, flavorful pieces that are a fan favorite across the state. But the real stars here are the Cajun filet biscuits, a spicy, savory delight packed with a seasoned fillet of chicken, all nestled inside a soft, flaky biscuit. And let's not forget the Bo-Berry biscuit, a sweet and tangy treat that pairs perfectly with any meal. From breakfast to dinner, Bojangles delivers that true Southern hospitality with every bite. Space Aliens Grill and Bar. In North Dakota, Space Aliens Grill and Bar isn't just a place to eat, it's an experience. This sci-fi themed restaurant is a family favorite, offering a fun and quirky atmosphere with neon lights, alien decor, and arcade games that keep everyone entertained. The menu features classic American comfort food, from burgers to wings, but the real attraction is the lively, out-of-this-world setting that makes it feel like you've stepped into a spaceship. Whether you're dining with family or grabbing a bite with friends, Space Aliens delivers a memorable meal in a space-age environment that's perfect for all ages. Skyline Chili. In Ohio, particularly in Cincinnati, Skyline Chili is a local legend that has made its mark with a unique twist on chili. Unlike traditional chili, Cincinnati-style chili is served over spaghetti and topped with a generous amount of shredded cheese, creating what locals call the three-way. This dish combines the rich, flavorful chili, tender pasta, and a mound of melty cheese into a perfect comfort food experience. Skyline Chili has become synonymous with Cincinnati's food culture, and whether you're a first-timer or a long-time fan, this signature dish is a must-try that defines the city's culinary scene. Sonic Drive-In. In Oklahoma, Sonic Drive-In is a staple of fast food culture, with a signature drive-in experience that has made it a nationwide favorite. Based in Oklahoma City, Sonic offers a unique twist on classic fast food, where you can enjoy your meal without ever leaving your car. The foot-long hot dogs are a highlight, juicy, loaded with toppings, and served in a perfectly toasted bun. And no trip to Sonic is complete without a slushie. With a variety of fruity flavors and customizable options, they're the perfect refreshing treat to wash down your meal. Sonic's fun, retro vibe, and delicious offerings make it a go-to for anyone craving a fast, satisfying meal. Burgerville. In Oregon, Burgerville stands out as a beloved fast food chain committed to quality and sustainability. Known for their locally sourced ingredients, Burgerville serves up mouth-watering burgers made with fresh regional beef and topped with delicious seasonal fixings. Their shakes are another fan favorite, made with real creamy ice cream and available in a variety of flavors. What makes Burgerville even more impressive? It's 100% wind-powered, making it an eco-friendly choice for those who care about the environment. With a focus on supporting local farms and reducing their carbon footprint, Burgerville offers a great meal with a side of good conscience. Wawa. In Pennsylvania, Wawa is so much more than just a convenience store. It's a beloved all-in-one hub for food, drinks, and even gas. Known for its fresh hoagies, Wawa allows you to customize your sandwich just the way you like it, with freshly sliced meats, cheeses, and veggies. Whether you're craving breakfast sandwiches, a hearty hoagie for lunch, or just a quick snack, Wawa has you covered. Their coffee is a local favorite too, with a variety of blends and flavors to keep you going all day. It's the perfect pit stop for Pennsylvanians on the go, offering everything you need in one convenient location. Olneyville, New York System. In Rhode Island, Olneyville, New York System is a local institution famous for its unique take on hot wieners. These aren't your average hot dogs. They're served with a tangy mustard, savory meat sauce, and a generous helping of chopped onions, creating a flavorful combination that's become a signature dish of the state. Paired with a glass of coffee milk, Rhode Island's official state drink, this meal is a true taste of local culture. Whether you're a lifelong resident or just visiting, a stop at Olneyville for a hot wiener is a must for anyone wanting to experience Rhode Island's culinary charm. Waffle House. In South Carolina, Waffle House is more than just a 24-hour diner. It's a beloved institution. Whether you're craving a hearty breakfast in the morning or a late-night snack after a night out, Waffle House is there to satisfy. Known for its classic waffles, crispy hash browns, and perfectly cooked eggs, the menu is packed with comfort food that feels like home. It's fast, familiar, and always comforting. From pancakes to bacon, the warm, welcoming atmosphere makes Waffle House the go-to spot for South Carolinians looking for a quick, satisfying meal at any hour of the day. Filiberto's Mexican Taco Shop. In South Dakota, Filiberto's Mexican Taco Shop has become a local favorite, known for its mouth-watering tacos that keep customers coming back for more. With just 2 locations, this gem serves up some of the best carne asada and carnitas tacos in the area. Each taco is packed with tender, flavorful meat, topped with fresh salsa, onions, and cilantro, all wrapped in a warm, soft tortilla. Whether you're a regular or a first-time visitor, the bold, authentic flavors of Filiberto's make it a must-try for taco lovers craving a true taste of Mexican comfort food. Crystal. In Tennessee, Crystal is famous for its iconic sliders, the southern answer to small, flavorful burgers. These bite-sized gems are packed with juicy beef, tangy pickles, and a soft steamed bun, making them the perfect snack or meal. Though they're small, each Crystal burger is bursting with flavor, and they've become the chain's most ordered item. Whether you're grabbing a handful for a quick lunch or stacking them up for a late-night treat, Crystal's sliders are a must-try for anyone looking to enjoy the true taste of Southern fast food. Simple, satisfying, and oh so tasty. Think you know fast food? Sure, you've heard of McDonald's and Taco Bell, but what about the chains that vanished? Once booming with burgers, burritos, and birthday sundaes, these forgotten restaurants were household names. So, what happened? Stick around as we uncover the rise and fall of America's lost fast food legends. Dee's Drive-In. Long before fast food became a national obsession, there was Dee's Drive-In, a beloved burger joint that got its start in 1932 in Salt Lake City, Utah. It was the brainchild of D. Frederick Anderson, who had a knack for flipping burgers even in his college days. After selling hamburgers at the University of Utah, he realized he had something special, and that spark led to the very first Dee's. Dee's Drive-In quickly became a local favorite, known for its classic American fare and car hop service. The chain grew steadily, eventually reaching 53 locations and pulling in a staggering $20 million a year at its peak. For folks in Utah, Dee's wasn't just a place to eat. It was a part of growing up, a spot where memories were made. But behind the nostalgic glow, things took a dark turn. In the early 2000s, Dee's was hit with several high-profile sexual harassment lawsuits. The legal battles cost the company millions and severely damaged its reputation. The pressure became too much, and in 2005, the final Dee's Drive-In shut its doors for good. Some of the old restaurant sites were later converted into Walgreens, but for many in Utah, nothing ever quite replaced the charm of Dee's. Childs. Long before the golden arches of McDonald's or the rise of fast food empires, there was Childs, a true pioneer in American dining. Founded in 1889 in New York City, Childs wasn't just another restaurant. It was one of the very first chains in the country, bringing consistent meals, organized service, and a clean dining environment to the masses. That focus on efficiency and hygiene set a new standard, one that would later influence giants like McDonald's. Childs quickly grew beyond its New York roots, expanding into 29 cities across the U.S. and even reaching into Canada. By the 1920s and 1930s, the brand was at its peak, operating 125 bustling locations. It wasn't just about food, it was about experience. Patrons could expect the same menu, the same service, and the same cleanliness wherever they went. But as the decades rolled on, things started to change. In an attempt to modernize and keep up with new competition, Childs introduced novelty items like hot dog and ice cream machines, and even showcased live pancake flipping. Unfortunately, these gimmicks weren't enough. Business declined steadily, and by the late 1960s, the once thriving chain had shut down completely. Still, Childs laid the groundwork for the fast food world we know today. Royal Castle. Long before fast food chains became cookie-cutter giants, there was a regional gem called Royal Castle. Founded in 1938 in sunny Miami, Florida, Royal Castle was all about keeping things simple and delicious. Their menu focused on juicy burgers, frosty mugs of root beer, and one standout item that kept folks coming back: freshly squeezed orange juice. Yes, breakfast was a big deal there too. Whether you came in for a hearty meal in the morning or a burger at lunch or dinner, Royal Castle delivered with that old-school charm. As the years rolled by, Royal Castle expanded beyond Florida, opening locations in Louisiana, Georgia, and even Ohio. At its height, the chain boasted 175 restaurants, proudly holding its own in the growing fast food scene. But the tides began to turn in 1969, when Royal Castle was bought out by a company called Performance Systems. Unfortunately, the new owners couldn't stop the bleeding. With competition heating up, especially from McDonald's, Royal Castle started losing money year after year. Eventually, almost all locations shut their doors. Today, only one Royal Castle remains, still standing in Miami. It's more than a restaurant. It's a nostalgic time capsule, quietly honoring a once thriving piece of fast food history. Showbiz Pizza Place. Back in 1980, something magical hit the world of family entertainment: Showbiz Pizza Place. It was the brainchild of Robert Brock and the team at Creative Engineering, and it took everything kids loved, pizza, video games, and animatronic shows, and rolled it into one unforgettable experience. At its peak, Showbiz had a whopping 280 locations across the country, making it a major player in the arcade restaurant boom of the early 80s. What made Showbiz really stand out, though, was its animatronic band, the Rock-a-Fire Explosion. These robotic performers weren't just background entertainment, they were the heart of the place. Unlike Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz had a more advanced, engaging setup that kept kids mesmerized while their parents got a moment to breathe. Headquartered in Irving, Texas, Showbiz thrived during the golden era of arcade games, but as time passed, the novelty wore off and financial pressures started mounting. In the early 90s, the company just couldn't keep the momentum going on its own. So in 1992, it merged with its rival, Chuck E. Cheese. Slowly, all the Showbiz locations were rebranded, and that magical blend of pizza and animatronics faded into memory. But for those who experienced it, Showbiz Pizza was a childhood legend. Wags. When you think of Walgreens, you probably picture a drugstore with rows of medicine, greeting cards, and a corner pharmacy. But back in the 1970s, Walgreens was also flipping pancakes and grilling burgers at its own chain of 24-hour diners called Wags. Inspired by the success of Denny's, Wags was Walgreens' answer to the all-night sit-down diner, perfect for road trippers, night owls, and hungry families on the go. At its peak, Wags had 91 locations, most of them strategically placed along busy highways and near major intersections. The menu was simple and satisfying: classic American fare like big breakfast platters, sizzling hamburgers, and piping hot coffee, served any time of day or night. It was a cozy spot where you could grab a bite at 2 a.m. or sit down for a casual meal with friends. In 1988, Walgreens decided to shift gears and sold most of the Wags restaurants to the Marriott Corporation, hanging on to just a few mall-based locations. But over the next few years, the brand lost steam. Ownership changed hands a couple of times, and by 1991, all Wags diners had officially shut down. Some locations were transformed into IHOPs, but the Wags name faded into memory. Minnie Pearl's Chicken. Back in the 1960s, fried chicken was big business, and one chain tried to ride that crispy wave to the top. That was Minnie Pearl's Chicken, named after the beloved country comedian Minnie Pearl, whose real name was Sarah Ophelia Cannon. Now, let's be clear. Minnie Pearl herself had no part in running the restaurants. She simply licensed her name and smiling face, hoping to add a little Southern charm to the brand. Launched in 1960, Minnie Pearl's Chicken set its sights on competing head-to-head with Kentucky Fried Chicken. And at first, it looked like a winner. The chain grew at lightning speed, ballooning to 567 franchised locations in just a few years. That kind of growth was almost unheard of, and it gave the impression that Mini Pearls was the next big thing in fast food. But behind the scenes, things were far from golden. Rapid expansion came with big financial risks. The operation couldn't keep up with the competition, especially not with the powerhouse that KFC had become. In 1968, the bubble finally burst. The company revealed it was $1.2 million in debt, and just like that, the whole operation crumbled. Mini Pearls chicken disappeared almost as quickly as it had arrived. Which of these forgotten restaurants do you remember visiting? And what was your favorite thing on the menu? Winkies. Winkies wasn't born out of a grand plan to take over the fast food world. In fact, the whole thing started by accident. Back in 1962, the Erlenstein brothers were simply in the meat business. They were suppliers, not restaurateurs. But then something interesting happened. One of their regular clients, a little place called McDonald's, started ordering more and more meat. The brothers saw that boom and thought, hey, maybe we could do something like that. So they took the leap. Using their own meat supply, they opened the first Winkies, cutting out the middleman and keeping costs low. That smart move gave them an edge in the early days. The restaurant started gaining traction quickly, and before long, Winkies had expanded to 42 locations across 3 states. It wasn't just a mom-and-pop shop anymore. They were a growing fast food chain. But success can be fragile. By the early 1980s, competition had stiffened, and profits weren't what they used to be. Despite their strong start, Winkies couldn't keep up. The company filed for bankruptcy, and the once promising chain faded away. Carol's. Carol's was one of those early fast food chains that tried to grab the public's attention in a very colorful way, literally. Launched in 1960, the brand's first mascot was a bright yellow slug. Yup, a slug. It was quirky, it was different, and it definitely made people curious. But eventually, Carol's ditched the slug and went with a more traditional image, a cheerful little blonde boy in a fedora. The goal was to create a friendly, family-focused vibe. Enter Herb Schlotnick. When he took over the rights to Carol's, he saw a golden opportunity. At the time, 15-cent hamburgers were the talk of the town, and Herb jumped in with both feet. He started franchising aggressively, and for a while, Carol's was on the rise, feeding hungry customers across several regions. But as the fast food market became more crowded, Carol's struggled to keep up. The final Carol's restaurant shut its doors in 1980. But the story didn't end there. Herb's holding company made a smart pivot. They bought into the Burger King franchise system and later added Popeyes. Today, that same company owns and operates over 1,000 Burger King and Popeyes locations, proving sometimes it's not the brand, it's the business model. Howard Johnson's. Before there was McDonald's, before the golden age of drive-thrus, there was Howard Johnson's, a true pioneer in American roadside dining. It all began in 1925 with a modest soda stand in Quincy, Massachusetts. The man behind it, Howard D. Johnson, had a simple goal: offer quality food at a fair price. That little stand served up 28 flavors of ice cream and quickly became a local favorite. After surviving the Great Depression, Johnson didn't just bounce back, he revolutionized the industry. By opening a second location, he unknowingly helped launch one of the first franchised restaurant chains in America. Howard Johnson's became known for its bright orange roofs, reliable food, and welcoming dine-in service, something that set it apart long before fast food chains became the norm. At its peak in the 1950s, there were over 400 locations scattered across the U.S., often found along highways and in busy towns. In 1954, Howard Johnson's took a bold leap into hospitality by turning many of its restaurants into motor lodges, catering to families and travelers looking for clean, affordable lodging. Though the last restaurant closed its doors in 2017, the Howard Johnson brand lives on through its motor lodges, now owned by Wyndham Hotels. A true piece of Americana, frozen in time. Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor. If you were a kid in the 60s or 70s, there was one place that felt like pure magic: Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor. Founded in 1963 in Portland, Oregon by Bob Farrell and Ken McCarthy, this wasn't just a restaurant. It was a celebration of childhood, sugar, and good old-fashioned fun. With its early 20th century theme, player piano music, and employees dressed in striped vests and boat hats, stepping into Farrell's felt like entering a time machine. One of the most beloved traditions? Free Sundays for kids on their birthdays. And we're not talking about a quiet little scoop. No, they made a big deal out of it. Drums, sirens, singing. The whole restaurant would light up with excitement. It wasn't just about dessert, it was about the experience. By 1975, Farrell's had exploded in popularity, reaching a peak of 120 locations across the U.S. But as the economy shifted in the 1980s, the magic started to fade. Locations began closing one by one, until only a few remained in California. The last parlor, in Brea, served its final scoop on June 8, 2019. Marcus Lemonis now owns the brand, and though it's dormant, fans still hope this nostalgic ice cream haven might someday make a sweet return. How do today's fast food places compare to the ones from back in the day? Better? Worse? Or just different? Bennigan's. Launched in 1976, Bennigan's was one of the early pioneers of the themed casual dining boom, and it stood out with its unique Irish pub atmosphere, dark wood interiors, brass fixtures, and friendly bar service. It was the kind of place where you could grab a cold beer, a plate of loaded potato skins, and a Monte Cristo sandwich all under one roof. During the 1980s and 1990s, Bennigan's was at the top of its game. It struck a perfect balance between restaurant and bar, making it a go-to spot for both families and happy hour crowds. Much like Chi-Chi's brought festive Mexican flair, Bennigan's offered a cozy, Irish-inspired setting and hearty American comfort food with a twist. But things began to unravel in the 2000s. The market was changing, new competitors were crowding in, and Bennigan's struggled to evolve. In 2008, the company filed for bankruptcy, and many of its corporate-owned restaurants closed overnight. While a few franchise locations held on, and some have even reopened under new management, the brand never regained its former nationwide presence. Today, Bennigan's still exists, but only in a small handful of locations. It's a shadow of the chain that once brought a bit of Irish cheer to malls and suburbs across America. Chi-Chi's. Back in 1974, Chi-Chi's burst onto the scene with a mission to bring bold, flavorful Mexican food to mainstream America. Owned by Hormel, the brand quickly made a name for itself with sizzling fajitas, crispy chimichangas, and those iconic baskets of chips and salsa. For many Americans, Chi-Chi's was their first real taste of Mexican cuisine, and it was love at first bite. At its peak, Chi-Chi's had 210 locations across the United States, becoming a go-to spot for family dinners, birthday celebrations, and margarita-fueled nights out. The atmosphere was lively, the portions were generous, and for a while, business was booming. But things took a dark turn in the early 2000s. In 2003, just 1 month after filing for bankruptcy, Chi-Chi's was hit with the largest hepatitis A outbreak in U.S. history. The outbreak, traced back to contaminated green onions, resulted in 660 infections and 4 deaths. Lawsuits piled up, and the brand simply couldn't recover from the financial and reputational blow. By 2004, all U.S. locations had shut down for good. Surprisingly, though, Chi-Chi's name lives on, not in America, but abroad, with locations still operating in Austria, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. A bittersweet end for a once-beloved chain. Thanks for watching. If you had fun taking this nostalgic trip with us, give us a thumbs up below. It really helps. Got ideas or feedback? Drop a comment. We're always listening and looking to improve. We appreciate you being here. Bob's Big Boy. If you grew up in America, chances are you've seen that chubby-cheeked boy in red and white checkered overalls holding up a giant hamburger. That's Bob's Big Boy, one of the most iconic mascots in fast food history. But before the brand became a cultural symbol, it all started as a humble diner called Bob's Pantry, which opened its doors in Southern California back in 1926. The man behind it, Bob Wyan, came up with something new and exciting at the time, a double-decker hamburger. It was a hit, and so was the friendly atmosphere of his diner. That innovation helped launch a restaurant chain that would eventually become known coast to coast as Bob's Big Boy. By the mid-20th century, Big Boy locations were popping up across the country. They weren't just known for burgers. They were places where families gathered, where waitresses knew your name, and where that smiling Big Boy statue stood out front greeting hungry customers. But as time passed, the once booming chain began to shrink. Fast food evolved, competition got tougher, and Bob's Big Boy slowly faded from the national stage. Today, only 5 Big Boy restaurants are left, though the Bob's Big Boy restaurant group still exists, keeping the legacy alive for a new generation of burger lovers. Kenny Rogers Roasters. In the early 90s, country music legend Kenny Rogers wasn't just topping the charts. He was diving into the world of rotisserie chicken. In 1991, he launched Kenny Rogers Roasters, a restaurant chain built around hearty, wholesome meals with a Southern twist. It wasn't a random move. Kenny had already struck gold as an early investor in Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that experience, along with his business instincts, led him to open a place of his own. The concept was simple: slow-roasted chicken, home-style sides, and a welcoming atmosphere. People loved it. By the mid-90s, the chain had taken off, with 425 locations across the United States and around the globe. The brand even earned a pop culture moment when it appeared in a famous episode of Seinfeld, adding to its mainstream appeal. But despite the strong start, the U.S. operations couldn't hold up in the long run. By 1999, all the American locations had closed their doors. Yet the story didn't end there. While it faded in the U.S., Kenny Rogers Roasters found new life overseas, especially in Asia, where it continues to thrive with over 150 locations today. Kenny may have left the stage, but his chicken legacy lives on. Geno's Hamburgers. Back in 1959, football fans knew Geno Marchetti as a hard-hitting defensive end for the Baltimore Colts. But off the field, he was cooking up something just as impressive: Geno's Hamburgers. Along with his teammate Alan Amech, Marchetti opened the first location in Baltimore, Maryland, and what started as a small venture quickly became a fast food favorite. Geno's was best known for its juicy burgers and crispy fried chicken. It had that classic drive-in vibe, but with a little extra star power thanks to its NFL founders. As the chain grew, so did its reputation for serving hearty, no-nonsense meals that kept customers coming back. At its peak, Geno's had 359 locations spread across the country. But in 1986, the game changed. The chain was bought out by Marriott Corporation, which had its eyes on expanding the Roy Rogers restaurant brand. So, one by one, Geno's locations were rebranded under the Roy Rogers name, and the original Geno's faded into memory. Ground Round. Founded in 1969 by the Howard Johnson Company, Ground Round was all about bringing casual, affordable dining to American families. It had a laid-back vibe, a menu packed with burgers, ribs, and popcorn shrimp, and a few fun gimmicks that made it stand out, like free peanuts at the table and cartoons playing in the dining room for the kids. For families, it was the perfect spot. Kids could be loud, grown-ups could relax, and no one had to worry about white tablecloths or fancy menus. Ground Round even had a bar area for adults and a family side for younger guests, making it a welcoming spot for all ages. By the late 70s and into the 80s, the chain was growing fast, with hundreds of locations across the country. But as the restaurant industry became more competitive and trends shifted, Ground Round started to struggle. Ownership changed, financial troubles set in, and eventually, the company filed for bankruptcy in the early 2000s. Many locations shut down, and the brand nearly disappeared altogether. A few independently owned Ground Round restaurants still operate today, but the chain has largely faded from the national scene. Steak and ale. Back in 1966, a man named Norman Brinker had a bold idea. What if you could enjoy a high-quality steak dinner without breaking the bank? That idea became Steak and Ale, with the very first location opening in Dallas, Texas. From the start, Brinker wanted to blur the line between casual dining and fine dining, offering Americans something better than fast food, but still affordable. Steak and Ale wasn't just about the steaks, though they were the star of the show. The menu also featured hearty sandwiches, juicy burgers, and one of the earliest and most beloved all-you-can-eat salad bars. But what really set it apart was the atmosphere. The restaurants were designed in a cozy, Tudor style, complete with dark wood, dim lighting, and a warm, almost medieval pub feel. It made you feel like you were dining somewhere special, without needing to dress up or spend a fortune. At its peak, Steak and Ale grew to 280 locations, and its success caught the attention of Pillsbury, who eventually purchased the chain. That led to the formation of the S&A Restaurant Corporation. But the good times didn't last forever. In 2008, as the financial crisis hit hard, the company filed for bankruptcy, and all the remaining restaurants shut down for good. Chevy's Fresh Mex. In the 1980s, a new kind of Mexican dining experience rolled onto the scene, Chevy's Fresh Mex. It wasn't just about tacos and burritos, it was about freshness, flair, and fun. What set Chevy's apart was its open kitchen concept, where guests could actually watch tortillas being made from scratch right in front of them. That hands-on, made fresh daily approach helped Chevy's carve out a name for itself in the crowded world of casual dining. The vibe was lively and colorful, perfect for families, date nights, and after-work happy hours. Sizzling fajitas, monster margaritas, and endless chips and salsa made it a crowd favorite. At its height, Chevy's was everywhere, dozens of locations across the U.S., each promising fresh Mex with every bite. But over time, the brand started to lose its footing. Ownership changed hands several times, and with each transition came more cutbacks and store closures. The restaurant landscape was shifting fast, and Chevy's struggled to keep up. While a handful of locations are still around today, the chain has shrunk dramatically from its glory days. El Torito. Born in 1954 in Southern California, El Torito was one of the first sit-down Mexican restaurants to bring the vibrant flavors of Mexico to American diners in a big way. Its name means the Little Bull, but this restaurant had a big impact. With colorful decor, mariachi music, and a warm, festive vibe, El Torito became the blueprint for the casual Mexican dining experience in the U.S. Guests came for the full experience, heaping combo platters, sizzling fajitas, endless chips and salsa, and of course, the house margaritas. It was family-friendly, but also great for date nights, work parties, and weekend celebrations. During its peak in the 1980s and 90s, El Torito was everywhere in California and had started expanding into other states as well. But like many restaurant chains in its category, El Torito has had a rough ride. The brand has gone through several bankruptcies and ownership changes, which led to many locations closing their doors over the years. Despite these setbacks, El Torito is still around, though in a much smaller footprint, mainly in California. While it never completely disappeared like Chi-Chi's, El Torito shares a similar legacy, helping to popularize Mexican cuisine and atmosphere for American diners long before tacos became a mainstream staple. Don Pablo's. Back in 1985, Don Pablo's burst onto the dining scene with sizzling fajitas, bold Tex-Mex flavors, and a party atmosphere that kept people coming through the doors. It wasn't just a meal, it was an event. The restaurants were decked out in vibrant colors, the music was loud and festive, and the margaritas? Let's just say they didn't skimp on size or flavor. Don Pablo's quickly became one of the most popular Tex-Mex chains in the country. Guests loved the freshly made tortillas, fire-grilled meats, and heaping platters of nachos, enchiladas, and tacos. It was the kind of place where families came for birthdays, and co-workers gathered after hours to blow off steam. At its peak, it had dozens of locations across the U.S., all serving up that same fiery energy and flavor. But behind the scenes, things weren't as spicy. The company went through multiple ownership changes and struggled with financial mismanagement. Despite several attempts to reinvent itself, Don Pablo's couldn't keep up with the changing restaurant landscape. After filing for bankruptcy more than once, the final blow came in 2019 when the last remaining locations quietly closed their doors. Thanks for joining our journey through America's favorite fast food spots. If you think we missed any local gems, drop a comment below. Enjoyed the video? Check out more in the series, subscribe, and share. Who remembers? With a friend. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.